Hi, my name's Bernard Pavlovich, CEO of Pavlovich Coachlines Limited. Welcome to our 75th birthday celebration. Our company history goes back to 1940 when the company was formed, and back beyond that. I don't have any doubt if my grandfather Marco had the opportunity to look at our business now, he'd be both thrilled and amazed.
When he came to New Zealand, he landed in Auckland, of course, and he said he had 1 and 6pence in his pocket. My father then married Minerva, my mother, and they moved down to Hamilton. Then bought property out on the Whatawhata Road. To get to school, we either had to walk, and that would be barefooted in the middle of winter, or had to have some other transport. Well, we tried the bicycle, and that wasn't very successful. A baker's van knocked me off the bike over the top of me. So he could see that there was something else required. None of the farmers or people round about wanted to put in money, so I don't know where he got it from. So he bought it, and it was only a little, I think from memory it was about 11-seater. Eventually that became too small. He got a contract. But in those days there was the Auckland Education Board. And anyway, built up. It was education as far as he was concerned. It was so important to all his kids. So anyway, one thing led to another. We became a registered company. It meant that we needed more vehicles. You couldn't just go along and accept sports clubs and take them for trips all over the place till you got a route service licence. It was. Didn't matter if we didn't get any passengers, we were able to do charter work. Developing around that time was, of course, trips down to Ruapehu. But in the meantime, 1966 it was, we bought Jimmy Brosnan. And the reason we bought Jimmy Brosnan, it allowed us to go into Auckland. And that's where we made a bit of money out of the freight, not out of people. We then eventually bought Robertson Motors, who had the Raglan to Hamilton service. That got bigger and bigger. And of course that started a build-up of lots of other kids coming into Hamilton for secondary school. So it got to a stage where we were overloaded. The business itself had built up and built up. We were doing charter work all over the place, schools, sports groups, church groups. It got to the stage where we were just having to buy more vehicles, that's all. In 1971 it must have been, I went to Sweden. And it was after that we bought 2 Scanias.
And so from that we became the first customer of Scania in New Zealand or Australia.
We had taken over a company called Southern Cross Coach Tours, who had property at Raremu. The ski lodge was okay while we were getting groups, but then they had the eruption there, so we decided to sell it.
The remnants of the ski business had gone, and it allowed us to continue to focus on the bus business. And at the same time in 1999 we picked up our first contract with Auckland Regional Council. We also in 1999 picked up a large tour account with Scenic Tours in Australia and put some new dedicated touring coaches on the road. And that set the platform for 2003 when we bid for more contracts in Auckland and were successful with a 14 bus operation bid. And that was the launch of the Urban Express brand in Auckland on a reasonable scale. A couple of years later in Hamilton, 2006, we picked up our first substantial contract with Waikato Regional Council, and that was to take over the operation of the Huntly to Hamilton service. We were determined to continue to grow our Hamilton business a bit aggressively for the Orbiter contract and won the contract for that. And that service commenced operation in 2009. So that was very pivotal, the winning of the Orbiter contract. It also enabled us to build a depot, purpose-built facility, a good team, but a management team in there as well.
On behalf of the Bus and Coach Association, Bernard and Ivan, congratulations for 75 years of public transport service in New Zealand.
So please take the opportunity just to celebrate with us and reflect on the fact that family businesses, and this family business in particular, has a strong role to play in the New Zealand business community.